Hello folks and welcome to this new video. Welcome to CryptoGrowthX channel, where we're gonna explore the world of crypto together, and we're gonna break it into the simplest, clear and practical insight from the latest blockchain platforms, and we're gonna dive into exchanges and digital assets. So if you are a beginner or a seasoned investor, you are in the right place. And before we start, don't forget to like and share the video with your friends and leave a comment, and let's get started. Before getting into it, quick disclaimer. This isn't financial advice, just sharing something I found, so do your own research. So I came across this platform called OneRoyal, and the first thing that stood out is how much they focus on being a trust broker. They highlight things like more than 20 years of experience, regulation from multiple authorities, and having offices globally in a space where a lot of platforms feel new or unclear. That kind of background does make a difference. And they also mention a number of awards: best broker, fastest growing broker, regional recognitions from different organizations and years. It's not something you rely on alone, but it does add to the overall credibility. What makes it a bit more interesting is that it's not just about saying we're trusted, they actually show how the platform is meant to be used. There is a section called Trade Smarter with Signals, which looks like a design to give users more structured trade ideas instead of just leaving everything up to guesswork. So it feels less like a basic trading interface and more like something like trying to guide the process a bit. And that's probably the part that makes it worth looking into further. And if you scroll a bit further, they start backing that up with more concrete details. They show numbers like more than 2,000 instruments and 1,000 times leverage up, users across more than 160 countries, which again reinforces that this is a fairly large global platform rather than something niche. They also highlight things like tight spreads, zero fees, and certain features, and over 20 years in the industry, so they're clearly trying to position themselves as both cost efficient and established. There's also a section around trading protection where they mention being part of the Financial Commission and offering an account protection up to 20,000 euro. Plus, they list multiple global licenses, which ties back into the whole regulated broker angle that they keep emphasizing. And then, on the practical side, they show the kind of tools you actually get access to: AI trading tools, MT4 enhancements, VPS hosting, and even copy trading. So it's not just about placing trades, but also having different ways to approach the market depending on your level. Overall, it starts to feel like they're trying to cover both sides, the trust aspect and the actual trading experience, instead of focusing on just one. So, getting on what you can actually do on it, they seem to focus quite a bit on crypto, but not in the usual way where you have to deal with wallets and exchanges. It's all done through CFDs, so you're basically trading the price movements instead of owning the coins themselves. Which means no wallet setup, no private keys, none of the extra stuff. It's all more straightforward. And since it's crypto, it runs 24/7, so you're not limited to market hours. They also make a point about being a regulated broker here, which actually matters, and more than people think. Crypto can be pretty volatile, so having that layer of regulation and a company that's been around for years make it feel a bit more stable compared to random platforms. In terms of actual trading conditions, they mention things like tight spreads, fast execution, and access to different tools. And there's also leverage available, which can be useful but obviously something you have to be careful with. So it's not just a basic setup. It feels like they're trying to give you enough tools to actually trade properly. And another thing is that they don't limit you just one type of assets. Even though crypto is the main focus here, you can still trade other markets too. So everything's kind of in one place instead of split across multiple platforms. And overall, it looks like they're trying to balance things out. One side keeping it simple enough so it's not overwhelming, and on the other, still offering enough features for people who actually want to take trading more seriously. That's more or less in the main idea behind it. So, moving along in the promotion section, one part that actually stands out a bit more is the tools they include. They're not just giving you like a basic trading platform, there's a whole set of AI driven features built into it. For example, they have something called SignalX, which basically gives AI powered trade signals across different assets. So instead of manually searching for setups, you're getting ideas generated for you, which you can then decide whether to use or not. Alongside that, there's like stuff, a market scanner, economic calendar, and real-time news. So you're not jumping between different websites trying to piece everything together. It's all kind of in one place. They also seem to push the idea of making things more accessible, especially if you're still learning. There is an academy section with guides and content plus like more AI tools you can try out when you open an account. So it's not just about trading, it's also set up in a way where you can actually learn how things work while using it. And then there are like a few extra things like deposit bonuses and dynamic leverage, which are more on the trading side. Not something you'd rely on alone, but they're like if you're trying to maximize what you're doing. Overall, this part feels like more support system behind the platform, not just placing trades, but actually having tools, data, and insights around you while you're doing it. Moving along to the news section, they also seem pretty active outside the platform itself. They host events, attend expos, and run seminars, like, so it's not just an online thing. There's actual interaction with the trading community too. And there's also a news section like where they post updates, partnerships, and they're working on. So it doesn't feel like a platform that's just sitting there. It's actually active. Overall, it looks like something that's being built to be used long term, not just a quick trend. And if you're curious, probably worth checking out yourself and seeing how it feels.